Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our live podcast recording here at the 40 Rounds podcast. Tonight, by popular demand, boys, we're back to record this live. They love it, basically. We get so many requests. We love the pre-records, but when you're doing a live, so we're back live. And tonight, on the panel, I've got Hayden with me, and I've got Ben in his very messy flat down. What? Down. It's true, though, isn't it? Why are you so low, by the way?
Well,
you are really low. Why have you?
I just slid.
It's weird. Anyway, as with always, Mick, we've got something special for you later. As with always with the lives, I just want to pre-warn all of you. Anything can happen. That includes the internet going. Bud's walking in, Nick coming in, giving me a bollocking about something. I don't know. Hayden's butler coming in with his tea, and Ben's man that he's got locked in his room coming out in his box. Anything literally could happen over the next 59 minutes. Tonight, we are genuinely talking about the Marathon Hangover. It is something that's real, and it's something that I've been talking about with clients. I've been talking about with other runners, like on Instagram and stuff like that. It's generally a phenomenon. So we are on a serious point going to get into that and what that means and what that feels like as like, and how we can help you get over that and that sort of stuff. So stick around for that. We do have a brand new game for Mick, which we are testing ahead of the Great North Run. I'll come on to that in just why you put your head in?
Because everyone's seen the thumbnail for this show. Everyone's seen the sort of mood you're in today. So anything can happen with this game.
It's not honestly, we've got the Great North Run, massive shakeout run coming. We need a live game like we did at the National Running Show. So we need to test them. So what I thought, because of me genius, I thought I would put one together, threw it together literally in a couple of minutes, and we'll see what the viewers and listeners think of it. If you are joining us live, we genuinely appreciate it. We can't believe that anybody actually tunes into this crap live while we record it. But thanks very much. And if you want to play along, get involved, then do. You've got the comment section up there, so feel free to stick some comments in there. Gavin's already commented the fact that he's in Berlin. Now, boys, I've got a question to start the show, and it is an important question. And again, anybody watching live or listening on the pod, thank you very much, by the way. This is a serious point. Coconut water. Now, in the fridge at work, I noticed there was coconut water in there, which was quite surprising. I thought, bit different. Usually they have them like sparkly drinks with no like calories in, which I usually drink. But here's the thing. I reckon my phone saw that, because then I got a thing about coconut water come up on my timeline. And then I'm going to read this to you. A single cup of plain coconut water contains roughly 600 milligrams of potassium, 252 milligrams of sodium, 60 milligrams of magnesium, and around 45 calories. If you compare that to a typical sports drink that can often pack in 34 grams of sugar, artificial colouring, and flavours that do nothing for your muscles, coconut water gives you real electrolytes without the sugar spike. It's low in calories, free from artificial ingredients, and hydrates your tissues faster because of the natural balance of minerals in the that it carries. Now, do either of you drink that instead of the processed electrolyte drinks that we get told that we should be drinking?
No, I've drunk coconut water, but it's not a substitute for me for an electrolyte drink. No, two reasons. One, to be fair, it's not that cheap, the coconut water, and I think it tastes disgusting. I just don't like it. It's just not very nice. It's been around for quite a while. There's a lot of
this is not a new phenomenon. It was more the fact that it was in the fridge. I thought it's interesting. And then that came up, and then, the reason, again, I mentioned it as well is because I saw another thing saying, and I knew this anyway, that basically honey with warm water or water is like the best natural electrolyte drink you can get. Obviously, there's honey gels and things like that out there as well. Yeah. So, Ben, where are you on coconut water? Firstly, we'll come on to honey.
So I did. Oh God, I'm going to
go. He's gone low again, by the way. He's gone low.
Seats going down.
Ben's head is massive.
I'm just like, I don't actually know. Coconut water, yeah, probably about 10 years ago I did coconut water. The thing you got to be careful that you didn't say is if you drink too much.
I went out, yeah, me and the boy, we went
Yeah,
out, yeah, we
just
went live,
got
we was on the coconut water.
you got to be careful. If you do too much of it, it has
Well,
let's say laxative qualities.
yes,
And I do know a couple of people who've been caught out by that, let's say.
Oh, really? But how much did they consume? Did they like take it like 3 liters of it because they thought, oh, I need some electrolytes? Or
Probably. It's got a weird taste, and as Hayden said, it's not. I might get it occasionally if I'm getting a meal deal, because then I think I'm getting a bit of a bargain with it. But it is, for what it is, I don't think it's necessarily,
even though it's a
worth
natural
the price.
electrolyte versus what effectively is artificial, if you believe it.
I quite like it. I've been on holiday a couple of times.
Cheers.
Yeah, it's got a litre of coconut
I've got
water.
I've got a litre of artificial crap I'm about to drink. Yeah, go on.
I've been on holiday before a couple of times. You know, the old coconuts, they come round with them, and before they smash them up, they make holes in them, and the old water comes out. You drink it sort of pure straight off that. It tastes a little bit better, actually, but I just find that almost processed stuff, whatever it is they put in their bottles, honestly, it's horrible. It's rank. It is horrible.
Oh, it's cold. What about this honey thing? You like having the honey with water they say have it. Was it 30 minutes before you run in heat or something like that? Google it, people. But yeah, it was something like that. It's a massive way to get like topped up in terms of electrolytes before you go out.
I thought that pure honey in itself, I think you can't get any higher with carbides and everything loading like that. I think it's phenomenal. I think honey is sort of like the superpower of a lot of things, to be fair.
Oh, this is what made me think. It's like, should we basically be like ODing on honey? Is it because like it's just amazing stuff? It's got so many good properties. Obviously, if you've got a cough, it's awesome. But you have to buy the one that's about $2,000 in Sainsbury's.
You can't just get like the cheap crap one. You do need to go for
But you can get the cheap crap one, and it may get. I don't know what the sugar level is. Obviously, because I'm not a nutrition. It may surprise some of you. But no. Although happy to give out advice. but the thing is with the honey thing, I think it might be worth trying.
You're going to end up looking like Winnie the Pooh if you have too much of that. Honestly, there's so much sugar in it. You're going to end up.
But Winnie the Pooh's cute.
It's cute, but he can't run a marathon. That's the problem.
Well, you don't know. Peppa Pig did.
This is true.
True.
Peppa Pig don't eat honey, I doubt.
No, we don't doubt it. Other question is, and it's totally unrelated to any of this. Do you take a gel before you do a race, Hayden?
I do not know.
Why?
Because for me, I always, especially if it's a bigger race, I always go really top heavy with the carbs leading up to the race. And by the time I get to race morning, that's my time to sort of back off a little bit. And I know my first gel is going to be 40 minutes in, 35 minutes in. I'm ready to go there and then. I don't feel as I need that top up or that boost. But I know we've spoken about it before. A lot of people do it. Even in like shorter races, in 5K races, people are smashing a gel before they go out, aren't they?
Well, this is what made me think. It was, obviously, we've spoken about this in the past, but when I did that, what I can only describe as hell, when I went to Battersea, and I would strongly recommend everybody avoid that place like the plague unless you're 29 and you look like everybody else who goes there. They were all taking like the gels, the beta gels, before they started the 10K and the 5K. Now, obviously,
is that because they're not going to do anything during the race, though?
I don't know, Ben. I wasn't running with them, funny enough. I couldn't keep up with them. They're 29.
Because they had a gel.
I'm about 80 compared to these guys. And I was so slow because it was just too hot. And basically, I'm just, whatever. But anyway, it was too busy. This is the thing, right? I like Battersea, to be fair. I like it. I joke. But that race was ridiculous. It was so busy, yeah. They had people like doing the halves and everything like that, but they only had half the path. And then what you had going the other way was like, again, no problem with it. Other runners, run clubs, cyclists, families, prams, pushchairs, all that. And they're trying to run an event in the middle of the day, 11 o'clock in Battersea Park on like really nice. I don't know about that because I don't want to be bad, but it was borderline unsafe in parts. Do you know what I mean? Because it was so busy. And they were giving you water bottles, which again, I ain't got a problem with, but people obviously chucking them on the floor. That's causing all sorts of extra carnage. It's a real shame, really. It sort of left me with a bit of a Debbie Downer on it, really. It's not. I don't know. It really put me off running in Battersea Park. And I've enjoyed running in Battersea in the Chase the Sun stuff they do over there in the evenings and that. I will not go near the place for park run. That, for me, again, me with my neurodivergent ways, that'd be sensory overload for me. I wouldn't be able to handle that. I was bad enough doing Cassenbury. I had to walk off of there because it was too many people on top of me. So I could never do that at Battersea. But it just felt a little bit too much. I mean, Hayden, you've run Battersea. What do you think of it over there?
Yeah, I've done the Chase the Sun, Chase the Moon, the same as you have, and we've never really had that problem before. Maybe that's because some of the run clubs aren't going out at that time of the evening. But I've also done the park run as well. And the park run, it's quite elite. It's a really quick park run, but it's so packed and it's so busy. And that start of the bandstand, literally, they have speakers going all the way up, so you can hear the run directors talk at the beginning. It's just so busy and it's so tough. But that's what I was going to say to you. Do you think you had the bad experience purely? Was it just timing? Because, in fact, when it was on a Saturday morning, when I suppose a lot of people are going to be out, the weather was good, everyone's in parks. It might have just been that. It might not have been the race itself, because we've had great experiences at night time there with run.
Yeah, I mean, great experience. That's what I'm saying to you. But it just left me with like, I don't ever want to go and do a race there in the day. Do you know what I mean? It was just too busy, too much going on in the park. Yeah, it was too much. It was just too much going on. And as I said, the marshals doing a great job. It's not their fault, but it was just so many people in the park and you had a lot of people running different paces as well. So like they sent the half out first. Again, ain't got a problem with that. That's great. We've all got to work our way through it. But when people were trying to go round you, they were having to go outside of the cones, and then that's causing problems for the people coming the other way. So it was just like a total like badly organised.
What time did the half go out at, roughly? What time did that start?
10:30, 10, something like that.
So it would have been really tight with park run and everything. It's with your last people, sort of your park walkers coming through and stuff. That would have been.
I don't know, mate.
It was still on. They did that.
Yeah, it was still on. Yeah, it was still on. It was still on. Yeah, I say there was loads of other run clubs and stuff there. Again, it's a super busy place for running, which is great. But there was also families and stuff there, which is great. But it just felt a bit carnage. But anyway, that was a total off on a tangent. I didn't want to talk about. The next thing I do want to. By the way, if you're joining us now, someone's just asked a shoe question. Shoe questions. Come and join me on a Monday, 8 o'clock. I'm live answering all your running shoe questions. All right. Mondays live, 8 o'clock. That is recorded as a podcast. So if you've got a shoe question, come and ask me on there. We're happy to talk about anything like marathon. We're talking about marathon hangovers and stuff tonight. So we want to get you involved. And obviously we've got an award-winning quiz coming your way real soon. And I want you to play along with that. But the next thing I want to ask you boys, because I saw this as well. I think it was Owl posted in the group. Give Owl a big shout out. Was the viral alphabet. Did you see that post?
Yep, I saw. I've seen it on. I've seen it on TikTok as well. Actually, it's a new sort of trend people are doing, isn't it?
So, what is it? Do you want to explain to the viewers what it is?
From what I saw of it, basically, as you're going along.
Tight. Carry on. I've got a visitor.
Oh, he's delivering your coconut water. There he is.
Come in, Bats.
Oh,
He don't want to come in.
He's legged it. I heard him doing his thing on the door, and then I think Nick's come down with some food, and he's gone. I'll sort that. Yeah, carry on.
No, I think from what I saw of it and what I looked into it, I think it's the way you greet people as you're running along.
No,
yeah, I'm sure it is. You start something with an A.
Absolute rubbish.
Or maybe I've looked at a different thing.
The Bible alphabet game. What Al put in.
I'm googling it.
It's the challenge to spot something from every letter in the alphabet as you're going along. What are you talking about?
No, this is a new thing. There's 3 or 4 different games. One of them is to greet people in different ways with a different alphabet as you go past people, starting
Different
with A.
words.
Say, all right.
Right, what did Al post? What did Ben find? What Al post? Because I think he posted about this one.
He might have.
Are you making that up?
No, I'm not making up. Honestly, it's a challenge to pass the time on a run.
Stop. What? You have to say a word beginning with A.
Yeah, and the next person you see is a word beginning with B.
Bastard.
He's going to go through every single swear word. That's what I mean. That's his A to Z. God, and I'm running with him tomorrow. That's
right. Go on. What is it, Ben?
Oh, I can't find it.
Before you get lower in your chair.
This is how I sit for work.
The one I saw, on a serious point, can someone help us out? Darren, you're in the comments. What's he talking about? The one I saw was that when you're out on a run, that you basically, the challenge is to spot something from every letter. So, whatever, Apple, a bike and a car, whatever. And you obviously it's a bit tougher with Q, X and Z. But long story short is that's what you was meant to do, like on those longer runs to break them up a little bit. I'd be absolutely intrigued, or I am absolutely intrigued about this one that you've come up with. That
it's not me that's come up with it.
You've got swear words beginning with every letter of the
no swear
of the
words. No one
alphabet
said
that you
nothing
call
about
people.
swear words.
No, that's what you called it. It's probably named the Hayden. Darren, he's come up with this game, right? Hayden's got a new game, right? He's taken the viral alphabet game and changed it. Where it was where you had to spot stuff beginning with every letter from like A to obviously Z. Now Hayden says that when you go past someone, you have You have to call them a name from every letter of the alphabet, which I don't think you should be doing.
I said it's the way you greet them, or it's something you can say to someone.
You can greet someone with a swear word. That's what you said.
No, you should be.
No, you shouldn't.
With swear words.
No, you shouldn't. But anyway, that's Hayden's version, and we don't condone it. All right, we do condone it. Either way, you shouldn't do it. Hayden, be nice to people. If you see Hayden out in your run, be very nice to him. Actually, you might not.
Don't go too far down the alphabet with the words.
Yeah. A bit strong. What a great game. No, Ben, are you finding this or what?
I'm trying, but then I got stuck on something.
He went on TikTok instead. Anyway, if anyone can help us. Right, hang on. I played the alphabet game at Edinburgh with my friend James. What was the version you played? Hayden's game, where you called people names beginning with A down to Z, or the clean version, the friendly version, the child-friendly version that I think you should be playing, which is where you spot things beginning with like A all the way to Z. There's a few words I could call.
See?
Oh no, Hayden, look what you started.
This isn't me.
We are not telling you to do that, right? If anything,
however, we will report tomorrow how far through the alphabet we get.
Yeah,
to be fair, you could do it between yourselves. That wouldn't be too bad. So you could say something to Ben with an A. You could say something back to you with a B. You can go back with
C.
No, I won't give it. No, yeah. We'll start with Ben because we know what's going on.
I won't get very far in the alphabet, will I? This is bad. This is what happens when we go live, people. I'm telling you. Remember, you asked for this live, not us. Okay, so you've got. And actually, talking. We're waiting for James to reply. I think this is probably a very good moment. 17 minutes in, we've added no value. Let's continue on that trend. Before we get it, hang on. It's where you name something you see while running. Thank you, Mick. So Hayden, you again are totally wrong, and you need to apologise to the listeners and viewers for coming up with a game that's totally out of order. Are you going to apologise?
That can be the second alphabet, though, right?
And you've never come up with a game that's totally out of order, have you? Ever?
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because that brings us nicely into the next 5 minutes of your lives that we're going to waste. Now, what I want you to think, right? Okay, bear with me if you're listening to this, because some of this may be a little bit more visual than audio.
God.
I want you to think that we're in a pub and there's a massive screen behind me, okay? And just spotting things, just naming. There we go. We've got a big screen behind us. We've got the microphones, and this game is about to start to entertain all the people in the bar. Okay. It's a new game that I wanted to try, and it's called You Can Only Keep One. It is actually a viral game. Okay. I don't make this stuff up, guys. I'm very much on trend. This is called You Can Only Keep One. Do you want me to give you the rules before the intro or after the intro?
Let's go after. I'm waiting to see this intro. I'm dying to see it.
You want to see the intro. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to welcome you to our new game show. You Can Only Keep One.
You can only keep one. You can only keep one. Just one. You can only keep one. It's one, I said that you can keep only one. Just keep one. It's the game where you can only keep one. The greatest game show on the podcast road where you can only keep one. I said one is what you can keep.
Be fair, that was pretty well. That was a lot of money went on that. Okay, boys and girls, play along at home. This is, as I said, this is cutting edge technology we're doing. So the idea of this game is I'm going to show you 4 things running related-ish. And you can only keep one. Now, it's important, obviously, this is an audio-based. We get millions watched it, download this, okay? So we need to explain to them what they can see, All right, it's really important. But both of you, you're only allowed to choose one of these. Okay, are you ready to play along at home? Now
We've lost the
remember,
comments.
this is when I've done that because it's going to come up on the screen. We will put your comments back. Okay, so load the comments up, keep them coming. We will put the comments back because I've got to use the whole screen. Just remember, this is the point where everybody turns off. Okay, because they just think this is a bit strong. Right. So the first one, again, this is all running related. And you can only keep one thing out of the 4. Are you ready for the first slide? Okay.
Let's do it.
Go for it.
Okay. So the first one, you've got Strava, you've got a running watch, you've got headphones, and you've got sunglasses for your run. You can only keep one. Ben, which one are you keeping? Which one are you keeping? You can't keep the man in the picture.
I think, can I not keep the guy in the picture? No.
No, come on. We've got
always sunglasses.
Sunglasses for Ben. He's getting rid of the other. Hayden, out of those 4, what are you keeping?
God, I'm scarred, especially that bottom right one.
Only keep
on
one.
The bed. Right, I'm going to go with watch.
You're going to go with the watch. Okay, you ready for the second one?
Yeah.
Okay, you can only keep one for your run. You can have gels, Haribo, jelly babies, and jam sandwiches for your run. What one are you going for, Ben? You can only keep one for your run. Let's call it a long run. So
gels.
You're going gels. By the way, did you notice ASICS have sponsored that AI t-shirt? Okay. I just realised it's so bad. Jelly babies power, fuel not for kids. Anyway, I didn't look at these before I spent hours doing this. Ben?
So I'm going gels.
You're going gels. What did you go, Hayden? Gels.
I'm going to go gels as well.
Okay. Ben, you can only keep one.
These are going to get bad.
A snood, a hat, some sunglasses, which you've already got, or earphones. These are all right. There's nothing wrong with this.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go snood.
Snood. Okay. Hayden?
I'm going yeehaw cowboy. I'm going hat.
He's going to go with a hat. Okay. So remember what items you've got, and I hope you're playing along at home. Right. Full slide. You can't keep one. Pair of socks.
Jesus.
Some shoes. Your pants. Be fair, I was generous. Or a vest.
Generous.
Remember, you can only take one of these on your run. One of these only. One of these only. Hayden, what are you going for? Be fair, I was nice to you on the.
Yeah. I'm not too sure. I'm going to go with shoes.
Okay, his shoes. He's only wearing shoes. No socks. No pants.
That's fine.
No vest.
That's
no
fine.
nothing. Ain't right, Ben.
I'm going shoes as well.
You're going shoes. Okay. If you're now watching,
you've got way too much time in your hands.
This may be taking it. I'm just pre-warning everybody who hasn't left us. This may be where it turns a bit sour.
Oh God.
Oh no. Have you
okay.
merged?
The next thing, you can only keep one. Remember, you can have Vaseline, Imodium, nipple plasters, or that is sun cream.
You sure?
Vaseline. I don't know why you've got. Anyway, Imodium, nipple plasters, or sun cream. You can only take one on your run. You can only keep one for the run. What you keeping? By the way, if you're listening to this, you really need to watch this back to get the full visuals.
No, don't watch it back. Okay. I'm gonna go nipple plasters.
Yeah,
but you haven't got a vest.
Yeah, it's pointless.
I'm going sun cream because I haven't got any clothes at the minute other than a snoot.
Okay. Next one. Bring it back. Okay, you've got Lucasade Sport, Sports in Science Hydro, water, or tequila for your run. Hayden?
What's the distance?
Let's say it's a half marathon.
Okay, I'm going to go Lucasade Sport.
Lucasade Sport. Ben?
I'm going water.
I'm surprised you didn't go for the tequila. Hayden, actually, you should bring your start.
Because you said it was a half.
You look good drinking tequila, I have to say.
That looks like a bar in Tennessee, I reckon.
It does, doesn't it? Next one. You can only have one. I've changed it slightly. You can only have one of these because this is the event you're going to be doing. You can do Berlin Marathon, Sydney Marathon, Tokyo Marathon, or the Cape Town Marathon. Hayden?
I'm going to go Sydney.
Ben?
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah, I know.
Sydney.
Okay. And our penultimate one, we do have a bonus round. And you can only keep one, okay, post-run. Ready? You can have anti-aging cream. By the way, these aren't AI. Gradual tan moisturizer, teeth whitener, or invisible height increase insoles. This is all sent to me by Hayden's wife. Hayden, which one? You can only keep one of your products.
I'm going to keep the anti-aging cream.
Okay. Ben, out of Hayden's products, what are you keeping?
Was that tan maximizer? Did you say?
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. Okay. And our bonus round for all you fans who regularly tune in. Are you ready? Hayden, this is only for you.
Of course.
You can keep a razor to shave your feet. You can keep your book that you write in. You can have your walking stick for your adventures, or obviously you can have your one ring to rule them all. Which one are you keeping?
I'm going to have that stick so I can bash you around the head with it. I'm keeping a stick.
There we go.
You can only keep one. You can only keep one. Just one. You can only keep one. It's what I said that you can keep only one. Just keep one. It's the game where you can only keep one. The greatest game show on the podcast world where you can only keep one. I said one is what you can keep.
Be fair. I mean, what do we think? Great.
I think people are going to be listening to this thinking, wow, I've learned so much about my running journey, my experience, so many great tips. They're going to be, this is award-winning stuff. Big time. Big time.
You got to think about it, right? The world is the world's flooded with podcasts, right? They're all trying to like add value, do really cool interviews with like really hit people and all this sort of stuff, you know, major celebs, really detailed analysis, and you've got people like Paula Radcliffe doing really high quality stuff. And then there's me with a picture of Ben Vaseline standing outside male toilets. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's actually genius. But all I would say is you all asked for it. You're welcome. There you go. That was more than 5 minutes of my life I'm not getting back. Yeah, but Dream Sweep, this is the point. You wanted a live, yeah? If you tune into the pre-recorded stuff, we often, not all the time, add value, yeah? You wanted it. You asked for it. And in particular, if you've got anyone to blame, it's Mick, because Mick wanted the game. So there we go. I think he's cracking. But getting on to the point that we wanted to talk about, marathon hangovers. Hey, if I said to you marathon hangover, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I have an idea, but I don't think it's the same idea as what maybe I would like it to be. I prefer.
Yeah, I'm not talking about you've just finished the marathon. You absolutely go on it, and then you have next day.
Right.
I'm talking.
I get you. Like, I hear you. Yeah, I hear.
So what do you think we're going with here?
I think you're talking about there's a big mixture, there's a big cauldron here of a load of things. We talked a lot about recovery afterwards and the marathon blues. I think that's a little part of it, but again, that's what a lot of people talk about. And to be fair, you've come up with this. This is a good topic because I don't think people talk more longer term with regards to post marathon. People talk about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe even up to 4 weeks. When you start talking about 5, 6, 7 weeks, you can still be affected by a marathon.
Correct.
And people don't really talk about that. So it's an interesting topic, definitely. 100%.
Yeah, it's actually about this kind of stuff. And I'm not, for once, just cut the first 28 minutes of bullshit out of the way. This is genuinely serious, yeah? As I said, I work with a lot of clients one-to-one. And this is for those guys who've done marathons. I've seen this a lot. I see this a lot throughout the course of the year. And it's something that as a coach that I work to try and eradicate as best I can. But even as somebody who's done a marathon, I still feel it. Yeah, it's very hard to shake. And it usually lasts actually about it can last about 3 to 8 weeks, believe it or not, post marathon. It's that residual fatigue. It's you've got like loss of structure. There's some hormonal stresses still in there. You've got unrealistic expectations about sort of post like training block / race that takes into account you think you're some sort of hero and you can go along to these sort of things. And yeah, there is a period of time, a window after that race where you're still carrying some of that fitness in. But actually what you're doing is delaying the recovery process. Not a bad thing because it's not a bad thing to go out and hunt something that you may want to do. But it really is something that occurs to us you know, for anybody who does like marathon training and into the marathon. Be interested, Ben. I know you don't run anymore, but when you did run before, you know, oh, your hip. Did you ever experience this? And he's got lower again, by the way.
I was just sat up. Have I got lower
Mm.
again? Just sit. Yes, yeah. I think it's that it's that bit that, as you say, you kind of get a couple of weeks out, and almost I will have had something booked, and that, as you say, just delays the recovery, but it almost delays that the mental side of the not in a structure or anything like that. So I think probably the last couple of, especially coming out of an autumn block, I think I struggle because you kind of do the race and then it's just coming up to where clocks are changing and it's getting colder and all that thing. So you've almost give yourself that permission to get out of the training block, but then you're just a bit aimless, like you don't necessarily replace it with something else, and so then I'm just a bit, well,
flat.
What now? Yeah, flat, and that's it. It's just that. Well,
Flat.
what now? What else can I do? Because everyone recovers differently, as you said. But if you've set unrealistic expectations, or if you've achieved your expectations and you haven't necessarily got that endorphin rush or something that you want to, it's a real head. I can't say the next word, but yeah, with your head.
Do you feel like that sort of fitness illusion, let's say, peak marathon form, I think that fades away, like of where you feel almost unbeatable. Like, do you know what I mean? Go into a race and go, yeah, I'm going to have some of this, or you do a training and yeah, that felt great, whatever, because you've built that momentum up, that steam up through that marathon training block. But within that sort of 3 to 8 weeks, it quickly sort of disappears. An element of that is the brain's missing that sort of target, that clear target. Yeah, we'll come on to like maintenance in a minute. But you know what I mean, Hayden? That sort of illusion of like you was like amazing. You've obviously done that race. You've had to recover from it, but that recovery has a long leg on it, right?
Yeah. And I think I spoke about this before, and this is by no ways relating it back to my personal experience with my marriage. But I think this whole thing with a wedding day, you build up for so long. Some people 2-3 years up to a big day. I'm using the wedding as an example, so I can think of long term.
No, it's good.
Build up to it. It's a great day, and everything's absolutely fantastic. It's amazing. And afterwards, you might even go on honeymoon for a couple of weeks, and it's still prolonged. You're still looking back to your wedding day. It's fantastic. And then, as time goes on, that doesn't fade away the memory, but that big build up and that suddenly that rush and that adrenaline, that structure, that planning, that thing that your life revolved around for so long was almost relaxed. It hasn't gone away because it's still there. You've got the memories of the marathon and the marriage scenario. You got your partner, but it's just the fact of you've built everything. Your life's been so focused around this one big thing, and now it's slowly but surely fading away. And yeah, it's so easy to see why people. And then you know what it is. It's like with your brain. You start to forget about things. And you just start thinking. You get a little bit down about one little thing, and you get a little bit depressed about this. Before you know it, you could be spiraling into all sorts of things. And you know, there's nothing wrong with you. The fitness thing is the biggest thing as well. I think you're building yourself up to that massive, massive crescendo, that big peak where you're going to go out and run a marathon. And then as you start to come down, you start to think to yourself, I'm not as fit as I was 2 weeks ago. I'm not as fit as I was 3 weeks ago. Yeah. And that obviously that joins together with the pace, and your pace maybe starts to slow a little bit.
Exactly. Your speed disappears first, right? It's that you've built that huge aerobic capacity. Yeah. Like unbelievable marathon pace efficiency and almost fatigue resistance, right?
Yeah.
But as soon as you start doing that faster work, that neuromuscular sort of sharpness fades away. It's the quickest thing to go. Obviously, it's the fastest thing to come back, but it is the fastest. It's the first thing that sort of leaves you. It's as I always say, it's like that. It's that top end speed that goes first, and it's natural. It's not a bad thing, by the way. All of this is good because you're. We spoke about this before. You're adapting. You're absorbing all that training. You're absorbing everything you've done. So it's not a bad thing. It's not something to worry about. It's actually a good thing, but you can't help but then sort of unwind everything else around you when you're dealing with this. By the way, I'm just going to totally go off, and that's you got to deal with that. I just look back through the comments of people playing the game. People are actually playing along. There was somebody, Rex Ryan was asking a shoe question. Rex, on a Monday, 8 o'clock live, come and join me. I will answer your question. If you're still tuned in, you probably turned off during that thing, the quiz. But make sure you come back on a Monday and ask me the question. But yeah, boys, there was quite a lot of people playing along, which is unbelievable. Thanks very much. And I'll just say, look, Peter Johnson, he says here, script or freestyle, aka chaos every time. It's authentic. It's true, isn't it? Anyway, going back to what we was talking about. So, yeah, I say that speed often disappears. But here's the thing: it's like, and I just use me as an example. And some of ours, we go into like what we call a maintenance period before you go into that next sort of base or whatever you're doing next. Yeah, that maintenance period can feel a lot harder, like than the peak mileage. Myself at the moment, and I'm feeling this as well. 30 miles a week at the moment feels like 50. You know, when I was in my marathon training block and I was doing 50-mile weeks consistently, 30 miles at the week at the moment feels really hard to get. Like it's a tough thing. You've got that momentum, you've got that habits, you've got obviously your body's expecting the workload as well because you built it up to take it. But you've got all of that, right? And then the mileage drops and obviously the frequency comes down, your daily routine changes and you're running. And I'm somebody who really feels like this. Your running loses rhythm. Do you know what I mean, Ben? You lose that rhythm in a maintenance phase.
And it's really weird because you will, as you said, your daily routine is kind of changing. And so then when you, as you say, it's that mental element that you're just really struggling with. How do I now fit in the runs when, you know, and how am I struggling to get 30 miles in when 3 weeks ago or 4 or 5 weeks ago I was getting the 60 odd. And Dream Sweet says sucks when you pick up an injury too, you know, when you just kind of like when you throw that in post marathon, you know. And I obviously kind of sit here, and Hayden, you had it obviously after Chicago with the op, and you know, kind of me after Tokyo. That was almost you know, you don't have that end goal then, at least with almost, yes, the marathon hangover, you know, when your next block's starting. So as you said, you enter that maintenance phase where you can start trying to build up, but it's so hard in the maintenance phase because you do just wonder, how the hell am I ever going to get back to doing 50-mile weeks?
Well, you wonder, don't you? Your mind wanders and everything wanders because, you've got structure. People are following plans. By the way, if you want a training plan and you don't want to pay for like an app or anything like that, we've got training plans at FORDYruns.com. They're a $5, right? So if you want some structure and they're not written by AI, so go check them out. But yeah, so a lot of people, they do lack structure during that period because they're not in a training plan. And it's quite hard. Like when you put people into maintenance, what does that maintenance look like? Like, again, it's totally different. And to be honest with you, as a coach, it's quite hard to get the right blend because you want the right amount of volume, but at the same time, you want recovery. You want to free your runner up to be able to have the freedom to go and do some stuff that they not necessarily are able to do when they're in a training block because we may restrict them to doing certain things. So you want to give them that bit of a freedom. Some runners I actually take out a plan because it does them well in terms of mentally. But then you start to see others wander. Others are better in it. So it's very hard in terms of this period to navigate it without really like falling off a cliff if you're not too careful. Races help, but then I think with races you get expectation. Because, yeah, like I'm as guilty as anybody. Like we spoke about Battersea, yeah, it was a shit show over there. But a lot of that was to do with my own mental state. Firstly, I was overwhelmed, but I had expectations that I could run X, Y, and Z. I was a million miles away from that. I don't even know what planet I was on. Ben and I spoke about it. He was like, dude, how much speed work have you been doing in the last few weeks? I was like, actually, like none, but intentionally because I'm like recovering. I'm giving my body the time. Speed work's actually coming in post Southend half marathon. I've all got it laid out in terms of what I'm doing and everything like that for what I'm doing at the end of the year, right? I'm giving my body that time to recover. And then you think to yourself, well, yeah, again, like I just said, I've lost that top line level. So who am I trying to kid that I can go out and run X, Y, Z? I've lost that peak conditioning that I had during that training phase.
But then it depends. Are you benchmarking that predominantly on speed here, or we talk on effort? Because I think speed, let's talk about pace. You've got to remember, if you're on a training block, a marathon one, a lot of people, myself more than anyone, maybe, I will always, from week one, I always want to have sessions where I'm hitting target pace, marathon pace. So throughout a 16-week training block, I'm hitting a lot of marathon pace. So my legs are getting used to that pace. I'm getting used to running over at that. When it gets to the marathon day, if I'm running a 3.5, 4 hour marathon, I'm running them sort of times at the same pace, and my legs are used to that. So when you come back off that, you start to recover. You've done a lot of mileage at that same pace. And as you said, without doing that extra speed work and that, to lift it again is difficult. So I think you need to judge. You can't really judge your Battersea Park on your time. I think if you judge it, I base it on the effort. Well, that's fine. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. If you base it off and you think that's so much harder it should have been.
Correct.
Yeah. That's
and it's the same. I will put runners and again, my runners, I was happy for them to race and do whatever. And they send me the times and stuff like that. But actually, it's the first question is, well, how did that feel? Well, that was awful. Okay, that's interesting, because that's good. We know where we're at. You know, go and do that 10K. Let me know how it feels. I'm not actually that, in a nice way, I'm not that interested in the time. I want to know how you got to that time. How did that feel to be at that time? My time, I just gave up, but I was like, right, I'm just going to turn this into X, Y, Z, because it was feeling way too, oh, don't get me wrong, it was like 27 degrees and it was full of helmets, but it was the effort was way too high for me, and I knew that immediately, right? In terms of where I was at, I didn't have to dig deep. I didn't have to push myself. That's where injuries and overuse can come in if you're not careful. There's a million other things that are going on, right? As I said to you, like I'm in a gym program that's quite a lot at the moment, so legs are feeling a bit more tight. You know, there's many different things that are going on because I'm working on other things. So yes, to go to your point, it's effort based, but how does that effort feel relative? And then that gives you a good gauge. You're absolutely right, Hayden. Don't look at the times. Look at the relative effort versus other stuff. And one thing I would say, by the way, and it's worth noting, if you are feeling that, that you're struggling with, like, I don't know, instead of basically, a good way to do it is just switch up the frequencies. What I was going to say. So instead of doing like 4 runs totaling, let's say 30 miles, whatever, try doing 6, because it often feels better maintaining the frequency. Like, so you're doing whatever that is. Anyone good at maths? 60, like 30 divided by 6. It's a lot easier to manage than 4. You know what I mean? Lots into that. It's just picking up that frequency, switching that up when maintaining can make a huge difference. It's a little tip for all of you. And the other thing is as well, what I would say, right, on that is, in that 6, make sure one of them's a fun workout. I give my clients like what we call them spicy sessions or things like that. Some proper naughty stuff that's just good fun, you know, whether you go and do that on a track or you bang it on a treadmill or whatever it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be speed. It can be I'm going to go and do a 12-mile trail run, right? But include a fun workout in this period, because it can make a big difference to what you're doing. Again, that could be a race, but it's not a race. You're welcome. It's not necessarily a race. You could go, right, I'm going to run with somebody. I'm going to run with a friend. Like James was saying, he ran Edinburgh with a friend of his. You don't have to race as in like race. You can go and do that as fun, and that's the important thing. I think the other thing I was going to say is accept the dip. Do you know what I mean? Like, accept this period of time. I think it's really important. It's actually really hard at the moment. Again, like you said, Hayden, people, they talk about, recovery. I'm going to like what to do the first week or 2 after the marathon. And then they sort of like, see you later. I'm off now.
Yeah.
But this is the period. And we're not talking post-marathon blues here. We're talking that period of time where people may be within training blocks before they do their next thing. It doesn't have to be a marathon. It could be a 10K, whatever they're going on to next. There is that real tail associated with doing a big training block and then the race. And it's not something that's managed correctly. It's hard to manage it. Like I said to you, everyone's different. But it's something that's not managed correctly by most runners because they don't understand it. And it's fine, right? But that's why we wanted to talk about it today. You've got. Do you think a big part of it as well, the hangover, could be, you do get people that
are at doing different races, so at different parts of their training. So let's just say you've just gone out and you've done London, and someone else had Edinburgh. So 3 weeks after London, and you this isn't you personally, I'm giving you as an example. You go on your socials and you see me training for Edinburgh, and you see me doing my last long run and me doing some pace sessions and that. And you start almost not comparing yourself, but you start saying, "Oh, look, he's in really good form. He's doing this. He's running at the moment. I've had my marathon. I'm not doing this," because you're at different stages of different plans as well. I think there is almost a little benchmark comparison thing there as well that starts to get you down as well a little bit. And you see everyone else doing everything else. You just don't feel like you can do it or you're up to it. And I think that comparison element.
Ben, are you ready?
Derogatory.
Are you ready? Ben, are you ready? In about 2 weeks' time, people, we've got a podcast coming out. It's called Uncensored. And it's an episode of love and romance. No, it's not. It's me hammering Strava. Strava is toxic. Strava is to blame for everything Hayden just said. And this is a no-go, and I will not discuss it anymore. Strava should not ever be discussed on this podcast again because it's toxic. What you described there is the worst side of Strava that should not be allowed, and they should do more to stop it. It's toxic. You should all remove yourself from there and not compare yourself to other people. And you are absolutely right. It is something that happens. People see that and they see it on Strava because they're like doom scrolling. Oh, yeah, so. Stop it. It's not healthy. It really is not healthy to be comparing yourself to seeing what other people do. I know it's human nature, by the way, right? Can't help it, yeah? But honestly, people, get off of Strava, the drug that is Strava. Get off of it. I'm telling you now, it'll do you the world of good.
Well, you can see people. You can see people on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everything else as well.
I ain't finished my rant. What you need to do after you've finished your marathon or your race or your run, whatever, you like your big event after that big training block, I tell you now, this is like medicine. This is what the whole running community should do. Once they finish their big training block, and again, that could be couched to 5K, right? And they do that, right? And they're happy in their running. They're happy what they've done. But you are then taking a much needed rest and recovery period before what you do next, yeah? What you should do is you should delete Strava immediately. Stay off of it for 2 to 3 weeks, right? And then bring yourself back to it slowly in drips and drabs. And that way you will, I'm telling you, it's what everybody needs to do. Everybody needs to do it. You all will feel so much better as a runner if you get off of Strava for 2 to 3 weeks after you've done your stuff. Everybody's hooked on this Strava drug. It makes no sense to me. It really does not. Like, you got Hayden writing his whole life story on there. Nobody cares about it. Anyway, this is a podcast that's coming your way. And I would say, by the way, because I'll give you all exclusive because we're live tonight, we're about to record one. Ben, they're going to lose their minds when they listen to it. We're about to, and I don't know whether we're going to be, it could be our last podcast, right? Tonight was borderline, but it could be our last one. Because we're going to be talking about parkrun. And you know that that's a very dangerous topic. But we thought, you know what? Let's go out of a bang. So if you've got anything you want to talk about with regards to parkrun, right?
Quick.
Send us an email at hello@fordyruns.com. Interesting, right? I'm just going to change subject, by the way, as you'd expect. I got an email about something the other day, like another 5K event that's starting up. Do you think, like, it's unrelated, do you think the parkrun will ever be challenged?
Never.
No.
Never.
Too big now?
Way too big. Parkrun is the absolute daddy.
And we love parkrun, by the way. We love parkrun. Yeah. Putting that out there. But you don't think
parkrun's growing. Parkrun isn't peaking. Parkrun isn't flatlining. Parkrun's just growing. It's going up and up because I think it covers such a huge diversity of people, from your people that are running 14-minute parkruns at Battersea to your people that are going out on a Saturday morning for a walk at an hour and 10 minutes. And I think because it encompasses everyone, it's just there for good. What a phenomenon. The only thing it needs to do is in places like America, which they really don't get it. They really just don't, even though it's around, they just don't get parkrun. It's really strange. But it will build and build. I just don't see it dying out ever. It's fantastic.
It's that community element of it, and you see it when you get, like, I was volunteering last week. I was barcode scanning, and it's like the people coming through kind of at all different paces, and it was so hot last week, and actually just that sense of and it's just a real sense of community that everyone cheers everyone on, and there's just not. it just can't be beaten.
No, we went down to Burgess a couple of weeks ago for Josephine's 500th park run, and they got a big Uganda contingent down there, and the community element down there. Honestly, it was amazing. Incredible. It was after park run, literally, there's a guy there gives up his free time. They do the most biggest sort of like cool down you've ever seen. Everyone's like gathering round in circles and doing these stretches. It's brilliant. It's unbelievable.
Whose dog was that?
Hayden? That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. Yeah.
Has the butler disturbed him?
What's shouting at the butler? No, but it is true. Like, but it's weird that like I got. Actually, it was 2 emails from 2 different sort of things that were like, oh, we're doing this, like we've started this across this, and we're doing this and this. We'd love 40 Runs Running Club be involved and all this sort of stuff. Delete. But it's, you know what I mean? It's like the fact that there's somebody trying to not take that on, but do you know what I mean? In terms of a part run, I think. I
just think, I don't know if you saw on the socials. So this week, the person he's done the most.
I'm sick and tired of social media, even though we like it. What?
No, this is everywhere. He's the first guy ever he's reached 1,000 park runs, and he done it last weekend at close to me actually, Morden Hall Park Run. He's done the most park runs in the whole of UK. He's physically done 1,000 park
didn't
runs.
He do walking or something like that? Was it tail walking or something?
I think he might have. Yeah, he's got a load of volunteer credits as well. It's fair play to him. But he literally 1,000 park runs. You put that into perspective, how many years he's been doing them every Saturday morning. It's blows your mind, and he's done them all over the place as well. It's incredible. Fair play to him.
Yeah, it's fair play to it. But we are going to talk about it because there's a lot of controversies around it as well. So you'll have to wait for that one as well. But that will come after the one where Hayden basically just goes mental and hates Strava for 45 minutes.
It's not me. I love Strava.
He loves Strava. You said he posts his life story on there.
Oh, it's so annoying.
It's almost as bad as his Insta.
Just don't
Ben,
follow
what do
me.
you think? All right, but Ben, you can only keep one: Hayden's Instagram or Hayden's Strava.
I think he posts less on Strava, so I'd probably keep. No, I love Hayden. I'd keep his Insta.
Really? Oh, Hayden, what would you rather keep, Instagram or Strava? You can only keep one. One only. Keep one.
Instagram.
Really? You'd sack off Strava? Hayden,
only because Strava, I don't get.
You don't get it.
No,
you write your whole life on there. We all have to read that shit every week. I went round.
How do you read it? You don't follow me. You don't follow anyone.
He doesn't follow anyone.
I know he doesn't. It says followers. He's got 20,000 followers. Following 0. So how do you see any of this stuff? Just talk so much.
I don't go on there. I honestly, I don't go on there.
Right, so how do you know about my life story?
No, that's a lie. That's a lie. I will stand and I will correct myself. I actually go on there after I've done like a big race that, let's say, like with Chasing Dreams, I did London Marathon. I went on there because people comment, and I think it's right to comment back on that sort of stuff, especially when it's related to something like the channel, maybe, you know, that kind of thing. So I will go on there if I've done that event because people are really nice and that, like, they comment on the stuff and say well done, all that sort of stuff. I try and reply to them. Other than that, no interest. Doom and gloom, people, is what it should be renamed. It should be called something else, but let's say that's nothing. It took him 19 years to do that, by the way.
Incredible.
That 1,000 part run.
Incredible. Can I just go back to one last thing about the Marathon Hangover? And I think it's just psychological wise. I think it's important. I heard someone say it before that if we do training for a marathon, especially if it's your first one, you should see like the end of the marathon and the finish and that recovery period. You should see that as like an end of a chapter. Not the end of the book. That should be end of chapter 1. Then you're looking forward to the rest of the book. Because I think too many people build themselves up to the marathon. And as you've always said in loads of podcasts, it's like, what's next? What's there to do? It's almost like that's the end of the book now. Like, what do I move on to next? If you see your whole running journey, it's like this one big book and like that marathon, just end of one chapter and literally just look, see what the next chapter is going to be. Something different. And I think psychologically that really does help you because we've all been there with this. And it's not marathon blues. It is, like you said, it's a great word for it. It's a marathon hangover.
It's a bit like your book that you wrote, There and Back Again, a Hobbit set. What? Well, it's true. It's true. No, but and a serious point. No, it is. You close that chapter, and you do have to move on. But it's a tricky time to navigate because you say that motivation can quickly go out of you because you're struggling to do certain things that you used to do before. The desires to do other things come in, which is not a bad thing. You know, I've heard people say, "Oh yeah, I took my eye off the ball," you know, like this and that, and all that sort of stuff. And if you don't catch it early enough, it can, like Ben's as guilty as anybody, especially it's true, in the new year, Ben, you're murder. Like, if you think about it, when you finish like at the end of autumn, you're absolute murder to get back into it.
It was the Disney one. It was the Disney one that done him.
It is true, Ben. You do we've said this before. He always lacks that little bit in the
because the clock's changed.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but the summer ones, he's because it's like nicer weather. It's true. I'm not hammering you, am I? It's true.
But that's what I touched on before. And that's where I think you made a really good point about going out, keeping that regularity short. So if you're aiming for 30 miles a week, do the 6. Try and keep up the same number of runs, or even if you reduce it by 1, but actually shorter, but keep going out, because that's where I do really struggle. I'll go out for a long run literally every single week with you over winter. That's not my issue. It's right, I finished work and I now need to think, right, I've got to go out for 6 or 7 miles. Whereas actually, if I just need to go out for 5K, that's such a different mindset of it'll be done in half an hour. So,
and I think better as well. You just said something really, really prominent as well. Unknowingly, you go out with Chris every week. That is a massive help. Going out with someone else, having that run, taking your mind off everything that's happened, everything with the marathon, taking your mind off that hard training, just having a friend, have a little bit of a chat, it might not be a nice chat with some people, but to go out with a friend and go out for a run. I think it's if you're able to,
mate. I said it in the Chasing Dreams series. You know, it was one thing that it was the reason I didn't BQ in London was because of Ben. Because he got injured running down a mountain and somebody told him not to do. And the reason I lost all that motivation in the last period of time, I put all that weight on and I just lost my way, it's because of Ben.
Yeah. He's got a lot to answer to.
It's, the fact that I'm never going to run Boston is because of Ben.
I'm back now.
He just failed to show up because he's got this little, I done my hip. Nobody cares. Yeah. It was all about me and he just deserted me. What?
Well, we're now back in,
we're back in BQ territory.
We are back in BQ territory.
We're not really. We're not really. We are venturing out tomorrow.
No. After last Saturday, we're not.
No, actually, ruined it. But no, it is true, Hayden. On a serious point, it is. That is something I spoke openly about in the last series of Chasing Dreams. How hard it was from going from that. It was good because obviously I was running the race on my own and I had to get in there, but I really did struggle with that. So yeah, it's always a game changer to have somebody like to be running with you and doing all those things. It's another level. It really is. And importantly for you, Hayden, which is really important, when you're running along and you call somebody a name from your alphabet, you could blame that person for saying it. I still can't get over that you said that. It's so bad. Boys, believe it or not, we've done an hour. It's just crazy, isn't it? That we can talk this much shit for an hour, isn't it? It's beyond belief. Although I think a lot of it was a lot of value add, especially the new game. I've had a lot of emails in already talking about how good it was. Right, team. So we are back to pre-records for the next couple of weeks. We will be back live again soon. We'll get some more of the team on, which is always good. We'll catch up with like Ben and Beth and people like that. We had Ben and we had Wilco and Al on a pre-record we've done the other day. So thanks to everybody who's been listening to those. But yeah, we've got some good pre-records coming up. Seriously, we've got a couple of uncensored ones coming up. Marathon talks coming next. I think, Hayden, we do a bit of a spring marathon review, which is kind of cool. I say we're recording some good stuff next week for some shows that'll be coming out over the summer period as well. So if you've got any good ideas and stuff that you want us to talk about on the podcast, send us an email, hello@fordyruns.com. Don't forget, please leave us a nice review. We get a lot of terrible ones, which I can't understand if I'm honest. But we do like to see the odd good one. It's sort of, we don't want to have just 1 star, which I think we currently have. So please genuinely go over and leave some nice reviews. If you've watched this on the video on the YouTube, leave us a nice comment. Say how much you enjoyed. Ben slowly getting lower and lower and lower and lower through the whole episode. But yeah, that's it from us. We shall be back, as I said, we shall be back live soon in a few weeks. I'm live again on Monday. If you've got a running shoe question, come in and join me about that. All the episodes that we've ever done are on your favorite podcast provider. Thanks a lot, boys. We shall see you all soon.